2 freaking seconds in, okay? And we've already got paint all over ourselves. Why is this my life? Why is this my life? I can't with this. I went live on Twitch for a little bit and I accidentally like turned my phone off, taking it off of the little phone stand I have it on, and here we go. Here we go. Loving this for me. Well, at least I can just put that on the palette, right? Like, I guess that's fine. I'm so dead. Okay, let's make sure. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see the chat, but we'll find out. We'll find out the hard way. All right, let's try and put this back on our little stand without putting my phone to sleep. That would be lovely. And let's get our shit together here. All right, so we're gonna have to do a little, hey Raina, how are you? Yes, okay, I'm so glad I can see chat. Girl, I just got paint all over myself. I love your videos. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you like my content. Oh my gosh. See, it doesn't... Artists of every skill level are gonna get paint all over themselves. This is just what happens. And I'm not even trying to insinuate that I'm like, you know, the best artist ever. It's just like, it has nothing, it's just, I'm always gonna be covered in paint. That's basically the vibe here. How'd that happen? Hey, Average, how are you? Well, you know, sometimes you're just trying to like squeeze all the paint to the end of the tube while the cap is not quite on properly, and then it just like squeezes paint all over you. You know what I mean? And yeah, this is definitely gonna stain my pants, but whatever. I feel like it makes sense for me to have paint all over all my clothes. You helped me painting better, so thanks. Oh, that is so, I'm so glad, Raina. That makes me so happy. Literally my life goal here. Yeah, look, that cap is just full of full of paint. Awesome. All right, off to a great start, off to a great mess. More like, yes, this is what we like to see. Oh my gosh. I wish I could, like, I wish I had like a pants cam so you guys could see. Like, I tried scraping off my pants. It's just like worse now. You know what I mean? That's how it's supposed to go, I guess. Okay, so we've got this out. I think I'm gonna mix a little bit of glazing liquid into it so that it dries a lot slower, because it is probably gonna sit on the palette for a minute. I thought I was gonna mix out a palette for this project, but I actually think I'm just gonna go in with just this straight up primary magenta at first. I'm priming the surface with yellow, so that'll be fun, but I'm waiting for the gesso to dry, or the primer, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now that that's mixed in, it's gonna add a little bit of transparency, a little bit of viscosity, and it's gonna slow down the dry time of the acrylic just a touch. And just for added insurance on that dry time, I'm gonna also spray with some water, give a little spritz. And that's also going to help prevent any drying out. Okay, so this is our little gesso mixture. Look how nice and golden yellow it is. Hey Cart, how are ya? Welcome to chat. Welcome to the stream, whatever people say. All right, let's get over here. Of course, I have a window and the light is coming through right behind me, so there's gonna be lots of shadows. Sorry in advance. Actually, I wonder if it would be a better angle to have both of these in the picture. Yes, yes, do we like? Professional. Okay. And then you can see me, hi. Okay, so we're gonna, what did you add in to prevent drying? Okay, so I added golden gloss glazing liquid, but you can also just get what's called a paint retarder. And that's literally what it's called on the bottle, and that will also work. Golden mediums tend to be kind of expensive. I know Liquitex has a paint retarder that is gonna be a little bit less pricey, and it's a smaller bottle too. How are you? I'm great. Oh, I'm so good that you're great. I'm so glad that you're great, Cart. I'm good. I just got paint all over myself, so that was kind of funny, but we're not too upset about it. All right, let me go ahead and, oh God, I hope that this is kind of dry. Yeah, it is, whatever. So So this is dry, that first layer of gesso, so that is good. I'm actually gonna take some, oh, little tip, by the way. If you don't like using the easel so that it like pins down the canvas, because I hate how it kind of covers this top area if you do that, you can use tape or even those little like eraser putty. That's what I'm using here. You can use that stuff to stick your surface to the easel. So just take 2 little pieces here and I just pop it right where the painting sits on the easel. And look, I got the pink paint on it. That's so funny. All right. Oh, that was a little bit too high. There we go. And now that's not gonna budge. It's just gonna be stuck there. And it's super easy to take off after, which is really nice. Okay, so let's go back to what we were doing. Put another layer of this gesso. I'm gonna use like a really big brush for this part just because here, let me turn you guys a little bit closer. That really didn't do anything, but whatever. I like using a big brush like this, just a wall painting brush. If you're gonna buy big brushes like this, do not buy them from art supply stores. It is pointless. It's so much cheaper to buy big brushes at like your local, you know, what do they call those stores? Like Home Depot, basically, Lowe's, stuff like that. Like Home Supply, is that what they call it? But yeah, just like get a multi-pack of brushes like this. They will shed. You will probably have to pick out big bristles, but that's definitely worth it. Like a brush like this from an art supply store literally might be $100 because they just have to be so bougie about it, I guess. But this is, I'm using a ACM panel by Artifacts, and this is one of their unprimed. They're a little bit cheaper because they don't have to do all the like the pre-priming process and stuff like that. But they are really, really, really smooth, and they also do need to be primed at home. So that's why we're doing it ourselves. It's just the first couple layers don't stick very well because of how smooth that surface is. There's like absolutely nowhere for the gesso to stick to. So it ends up being pretty streaky and stuff. So the first couple layers, like you can see through it a bunch. You can kind of see where it almost looks blue as it's shining through. But that's just how it has to be because it's not sticking. Okay, so now I'm gonna, oh shoot, me getting some of this color in there. Why am I like this? I'm like the messiest artist. I'll be back. No worries, Raina. See you soon. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. Okay, so we're just gonna keep this brush hydrated, wipe off the excess. Usually I would go into the other room and fully rinse this out in between gesso layers because we are gonna have to wait a few minutes for the gesso layer to dry before we can apply another one. But because I'm on live, I'm not gonna get up and keep doing that because that will be really boring. So we're just gonna wing it. But yeah, so here's the other deal, right? Here's the other deal. I don't know what to paint. I don't know what we're painting today. I have no idea what the vibe is. So if you guys have any ideas, I was just gonna go in with a magenta underpainting just to kind of get whatever we want to put out there on there. But I was just gonna kind of go with the flow. I don't know if I'm doing abstract realism, like whatever. I usually have such a huge plan, but I don't have one right now. But you know what I do have is a lot of freaking sweat on my body, so I'm gonna turn on my AC. Sorry in advance if you guys can hear it. All right. Jesus, yeah, it's 80 degrees up here. What the hell? My lord. The audio immediately being horrible. Hey Gunter, thanks for joining chat. Maybe an elephant? Oh, an elephant's interesting. You know, if I had like any ability to paint, sorry, I'm just popping in here while I'm chatting with you guys so it's not boring. If I had like any ability to paint animals, I definitely would do an elephant, but I really struggle with animals and I don't have my phone available because I'm using it to film to look up a reference image. But I do appreciate that suggestion. I'm sorry for shooting it down. It's gonna look like doo-doo butt. It's gonna look like a 4-year-old did it. And I feel like that wouldn't be nearly as entertaining as y'all might want to see. But like, okay, let me give y'all more of like a. I'm thinking some kind of landscape situation, some kind of like portrait situation, maybe abstract, but like if there's like specific color schemes you guys think would be interesting to see, I don't know, like the world is pretty much our oyster because I can do landscapes without needing reference image. I can do portraits as long as it's not of a specific person without using reference image, but not animals. Just nothing with an animal, please, I beg. Oh, a fox. They're my fave. See, again, it ain't gonna look good. I'm so sorry. Bro, I never paint animals. Literally same. I love painting them. Honestly, Raina, like, it's completely fair that you love painting them. I feel like people that are good at painting animals, are, like, so goated. Goat, get it? But seriously, like, so goated because I feel like once you can paint one animal properly, you just start to understand how all of them are like formed, if that makes sense. Like especially with mammals, right? Like you get really good at painting like dogs and cats, and I feel like you can paint like any mammal pretty well. And like yeah, but whenever I paint animals, they look wrong. They look like deformed. It's rough. It's rough. Also, how are we doing over here? That doesn't look anywhere near dry, so loving that for us. I hate painting portraits. Hey, you know, I'll paint the portraits, you paint the animals. We'll be a good team. Maybe dunes/desert, because that matches well with the burnt sienna underpainting. Ooh, yes, love that idea. Yeah, honestly, because if we're painting magenta over yellow, it's gonna come out orange. So that would be super cool. Dunes/desert. Yes, I am going to use magenta, but it will be on top of some yellow, so I actually think that might be kind of interesting. And we can always, like, it doesn't have to stay magenta because it's the underpainting. So if we wanted to look more like dunes and desert-ish, we could just go over with more of, like, a tan color. I've been playing so much Magic the Gathering Arena lately. It would be fun to kind of do, they have land cards that are desert. Oh, this is not blood, it's just magenta paint that I got all over myself at the beginning of the live. But they have desert cards, so we could like maybe we're like, you know, designing one of those or something like that. That's kind of what's been motivating me lately, is thinking about like making those cards. That'd be so fun. Obviously, like I'm not on their list of artists that they're trying to hire, but maybe if we made enough paintings and tagged them enough time, they'd consider me. You know what I mean? A violet sea with a sunset. Ooh, that's also a really good idea. We could probably combine those two ideas. Oh, I love your videos. Oh, thank you, Sunshine. Thanks for hopping in chat for a minute. All right, we're gonna go back in and do another little spritz on that magenta that we have sitting on our palette, just to make sure that it stays hydrated. Maybe a little bit Nardesso as well, just to make sure. But yeah, other than that, we're just chilling. Honestly, having the AC on behind me, blowing air at this. Oh, my hair. Can you see? I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can. My hair. Excuse me. Disgusting. Actually, I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm like weird. I don't find hair that gross. I feel like people like hair like freaks people out. Like if you find like a piece of hair in your food at a restaurant. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like, yummy, but I'll still eat it. Pick out it's a piece of hair. As long as it's not like a pube, I'm good. I'm good, whatever. We all got hair. It's fine. You know, you know what I mean? I don't care. But I literally get pet hair in all of my paintings. That's like inevitable. If you ever commission anything from me, it's gonna have my pet's DNA. For sure. Hey Who, how are you? I am painting, I think we're gonna do kind of like a dune / like sunset ocean situation. I think we're just gonna have fun and kind of make a fun little landscape. Gunter, I'm struggling with painting with gouache and painting in general. I feel like I'm not improving. Do you have any advice? Yes, of course. So I would say, so painting with gouache, I mean, it matters what you're struggling with in particular. If you feel like you're struggling with improving, I personally find that comes from only painting like specific things that you want to be able to paint, without exploring new tools or ways to use gouache. Sometimes, you know, if you just pick up the paints and you start painting, you can learn that way, and you will learn that way, but it takes a lot longer. I would highly recommend, if you feel like you're stuck, it's probably a technique issue, not necessarily a talent problem. So if you already have ideas of what you want to be painting, but you just feel like you can't get there, if that makes sense, then I would highly recommend finding some more gouache tutorials on YouTube, just for free. You don't need to pay anyone for classes. You can if you want, but you really don't need to. And not necessarily like how to paint what you're trying to paint, but just look up beginner's gouache intro, and if they have you do things that might seem stupid, like just little exercises with like circles and dots on like a little piece of paper or something like that, just do it. Learn the technique, and then you can use those tools to better execute what you're trying to paint. That's whenever I've done any kind of workshop that teaches me new ways to use the paint, it helps improve my paintings. Rather than being taught how to paint something specific, if that makes sense. I hope that's helpful. Oh no, I can't see a lot of the chat. Ah. That happens to me all the time. What if they didn't wash their hair in months? You want that greasy ass hair? Okay, that is gross. But at the same time, like, is it really gonna affect my freaking chicken nuggets or whatever? No. I choose not to think about it, I guess. I mean, my hair is greasy, so specifically with color theory, who said color theory is quite easy. Color theory is easy for some and hard for others. It's just one of those kind of like annoying, you know, one of those things where I feel like it can be overcomplicated. What I would do first is get yourself a color wheel. I actually have one pinned right over here. So if you get your, oh Jesus. Let me just go ahead and kick everything in my studio. Honestly, as long as you understand the basics of complementary colors and the rest you kind of just figure out on your own. I actually really agree with that, Ho. And also let me know if I'm not saying your name properly. Or if you would prefer I call you Tao instead. But yeah, get yourself a color wheel. This is kind of a complicated color wheel, but this is specifically a CMY primaries color wheel, which are usually the color system that I prefer to use, as some of y'all might know from my CMY videos. Who is fine? Okay, perfect. So this, for example, gives you your key color, which is like the main color that you're using. For example, we're about to use magenta over there. So I would say that my key color right now is magenta, right? So that's automatically going to give you your complementary, which is always going to be perfectly opposite on the color wheel. Now, if you're confused why the opposite of magenta is green, that's because you're probably used to a red, yellow, and blue primary system, and there's nothing wrong with using red, yellow, and blue if that is what you prefer. It's just a slightly smaller color spectrum, so you might miss out on like some really nice bright purples, or you might miss out on like cyan and stuff like that, and like a good magenta. But there's nothing bad about red, yellow, and blue, despite the fact that I make so many videos talking about why I don't prefer it. So if you get a red, yellow, and blue color wheel, that's totally fine. But yeah, so this gives us our complementary, which is nice, but then it's also going to give us a split complementary. So we'll be able to get some of the adjacent colors over here that we can use. So this would be essentially all three of the primary colors are going to show up as cyan, yellow, and magenta here, but then we also get the complementary. So if I was looking for like a really good color scheme that would be really flattering for magenta, I would want to use these three colors at the bottom. And that way it's not just like, okay, my whole painting is going to be magenta and green, if that makes sense. I forget, there's like another way that you can use this. Let's see. Subtract and blah, blah, blah. Oh yes, also hues and shades and stuff like that, so you can kind of see how gray they get as well. It's just very helpful. Like red, yellow, and blue are widely used since they're primary colors. Every other color can be made from these. So actually I will combat you there. So a lot of us were taught that red, yellow, and blue are the primary colors because that was the closest thing that we had to primary colors for a very, very long time. And so it's very embedded in traditional schooling that red, yellow, and blue are the primaries, but it's actually cyan, magenta, and yellow. And we figured this out a lot later because we were able to understand more about color theory using light. You might see, you might have heard of subtractive versus additive color theory. Additive color theory is color theory made with light. So that's like light that comes from a source, right? Like the light that I have up here is a source light. And so red, green, and blue, also known as the RGB color palette, are the additive primaries. And that's like what you see on your computer screen. So all of the little tiny little balls on your computer screen have the capacity to be red, yellow, or blue. Sorry, red, green, or blue. I'm confusing you guys. Red, green, or blue. And you can mix any of those colors together as long as it is from a light source, and it will make any color on the spectrum, right? You found me for my CMY videos? Well, here we are. Here's the same freaking thing I talk about all the time again. And the secondary hues, so as you know, the secondary colors are what you get when you mix all of the primaries together. Like in this case, cyan and yellow would make a secondary color of green when they're mixed together, right? So the secondary colors of light or additive color is CMY, cyan, magenta, and yellow, what we have here. Now, because subtractive color is when we get, and we can actually see this here. You guys see these two little points? So this is red, blue, and green, as we discussed before. And in the middle, when they're all mixed together, when they're from a light source, you get pure white. And that's because it's additive. And then as you can see, the secondaries of that are cyan, magenta, and yellow. But when we go to subtractive color theory, we have cyan, magenta, and yellow again. The secondary colors become red, blue, and green. So we can mix red and blue with cyan, magenta, and yellow. So we can make what we originally thought were some of the primary colors. And then in the middle, we have black because there's actually an absence of any color at that point being reflected back, or technically all of the colors at once, right? But anyways, yeah, so that's actually the real primary color system. I'm not trying to be a douche about it or anything like that, but I'm super passionate about this. And I remember when I learned this for the first time, it was like mind-blowing and so helpful. So that's why I went on a rant about it. I hope it didn't hurt your feelings or anything like that, because again, there's nothing wrong with using red, yellow, blue if that's what you want to use, you know? It's still a totally valid paint palette. Isn't that the base of light theory as well? Yes. Yes, exactly. So light color theory is additive color theory. Subtractive color theory is color theory that is light bouncing off of a surface. So for example, you know, the light that is up here out of camera is bouncing off of this and reflecting light to our eyes that is essentially allowing us to see the color cyan. But it's called subtractive because technically this little piece, the cyan color here, is reflecting every light wave except cyan back to our eyes. So that's why we're able to see the cyan. So technically this is every color except cyan, which is why it's called subtractive, because when light, aka all of the colors mixed together, hit this piece of paper, every color except for cyan is being, and it subtracts cyan from the rest, and that's how we're able to see it. Isn't that weird? It also has to do with how our cones in our eyes can see color as well, but yeah. So as someone who's made like 2 successful portraits, would you say I should make use of CMY or Zorn? Which is more beginner friendly? I would say that you can go either way. It's one of those situations where Zorn is considered a limited palette, which is when you purposefully don't want to use a full spectrum. It can be very helpful if you find color to be really overwhelming when you have too many options. So if you're somebody that feels easily overwhelmed, then I would definitely go with Zorn to start with. But if you're someone that wants to have like a bigger capability, like you want your portraits to be a little bit brighter, more saturated, then I would go with using CMY. You are going to have a much more full spectrum of capabilities. So again, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but you're going to get a lot more, I guess, options to work with. But Zorn's great. No, I love any limited palette. You can also make your own limited palette. Technically, red, yellow, and blue is a limited palette compared to CMY. Let me put my little color wheel back. I'm sure that I've yapped long enough for us to put another layer of gesso on. Yes, okay, so let's grab this. And let's just double check. The corners kind of feels a little bit wet still. I think I'm gonna wait just another minute or two, because if you do another layer of gesso on top of a surface that's still wet, it will pick up the last layer and really not do what it's supposed to. Yeah, you can see got some gesso on myself because the sides are still a little bit wet here, so we're gonna wait just a couple more minutes. Hey Harrison, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. And hello to everyone else that's hanging out and not particularly in the mood to chat. People just watching. It's nice to see y'all too. All right, let's do a little water break. Anyone that has a water bottle, it's time. It's time for water. Hydration. And if you don't have water, go get some freaking water. Go get some sort of drink. Because did you know that you're supposed to drink like 2 of these whole things a day? I don't even do that. I do like 1. Hey Nova, welcome to chat. Welcome, welcome. All right. Are we dry? Please, 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 please. Okay, we are like almost there. Almost there. Another minute maybe. Let me go ahead and spritz my magenta over here again. Drawing at the moment and you need a random color. Purple. Thanks, I'll definitely try to experiment more. I think I messed up because I came from watercolor. Now I'm trying to paint with other mediums. You didn't mess up at all. You were totally good. Watercolor is a great place to start. It's so accessible. It's cheap. It's the way to start. And honestly, going from watercolor to gouache is great. You're drinking a frappe right now. Average, I'm literally so jealous. Can you please give me a sip? Like, what the heck? You're just going to hold on to that thing? Any suggestions to draw portraits? Yes, I highly suggest looking up the atelier method, especially if you're trying to draw from life. But honestly, the same tools can apply for drawing portraits from pictures and stuff like that. I just highly recommend practicing as much as possible, just going in, measuring relationships. So I think a lot of times we get caught up in sort of, okay, let me make the eye look perfect, right? And then everything else around it looks like crap or whatever. But what you want to do is measure, okay, so the corner of the eye is, this far away from the left corner of the nose or whatever. And if you look at it that way, you'll understand how all of the features are related to one another instead of them just existing as islands and stuff. I'm supposed to organize my Amazon boxes, but my phone fell in my hand and turned on YouTube Live. That is so tragic. I guess the universe just wanted you here, Nova. I started from watercolor too, and then I used acrylic paints, gouache, and oil paints. It's really fun to play with them all. I totally agree. And if you know how to use all of them, there's like little bits from each medium that will help you be better at other mediums. So it really helps you get a deeper understanding. I don't think you're making a mistake by going from watercolor to gouache at all. But let's do another layer of gesso on here. And as you can see, now that we have 2 more layers underneath, we finally have enough. Oh, and actually I forgot I peeled this off of our little sticky spots that we made. Let me reattach that. But you can see that the gesso is sticking a lot more easily, and that's because gesso automatically dries with a matte surface. And basically what a matte surface is, if you don't already know, is just a bunch of tiny, tiny, tiny little bumps, rather than being a smooth surface. So a lot more light gets trapped there and does not reflect back to you. So this is also going to allow for the gouache to actually like hold on to something. If you think about like, it would be really hard to climb a rock wall, or stay on a rock wall if it was smooth. But when there's a bunch of tiny little bumps to grip onto, it allows the gesso to grip onto something as well. That's also why I recommend painting on, even if you sand it down so that it's like pretty fine, I highly recommend painting on a somewhat matte surface, because your paint is just gonna, you know, hold on to it so much more easily. But yeah. All right, and let's do what we were doing before. Get a little spritz in the gesso so it doesn't dry out. Get a little spritz on our brush here so it doesn't dry out with a bunch of gesso all over it. Normally I recommend rinsing this, as I said before, but for people who are doing chat, I recommend rinsing this out in between layers, but I'm not gonna do that today because then I'd have to leave y'all alone for like, you know, 5 minutes every 5 minutes, which is boring. I see you'll check it out. Sweet, love that. Hey Jaya, how's it going? Or is it Jaya? Gia? Gaia? I think it's Gaia, isn't it? Do you make figures with clay? I haven't made figures with clay before, like to draw from, but I think that sounds dope. That would be so fun. I did actually make a little clay guy with some polymer clay. My buddy who loves sculpting came over and brought some polymer clay, and we messed around with that, and I had so much fun. It made me want to buy polymer clay like bad. I was, you know, I was on Dick Blick, like adding that to my cart. You know what I mean? So I might get into that a little bit more because it was really, really fun. Maybe I'll bring my little guy that I made next time I go live, because he was so cute. He was so cute. He was this little wizard man, this little old man. Hi, I'm also painting right now. I just love to paint with someone. Anya, that's so awesome. I love that. I also love painting with other people. Raina, same for you. All right, come on. Also, you can use like a hair dryer if you want to make this go a little bit faster. Obviously, of course, I didn't bring mine up here today. But as long as you use it, I would recommend using it on a cold setting, or like the second warm setting, not the hottest setting, just because you don't want to accidentally cause your gesso to crack or your paint to crack. But it's a really good tool to use if you're trying to speed up the dry time of acrylics. Of course, I just didn't bring that with me today. But if y'all have seen my painting a self-portrait in 24 hours YouTube video, then y'all know I was using that. I was using that freaking hair dryer, that's for sure. That's the only way I was able to make that happen. Do I do commissions? I do commissions, Nova. I have a little contact form through my website that you can fill out. But yes, I do commissions. Haha, I said do. I recommend don't draw a cake. That's what I'm doing. All right. Cake's off the list. We're not doing a cake. I know everyone was really hoping for that, but Raina's already got that covered for us. Sorry, cleaning my glasses over here. People with glasses know. Is it fun to draw a cake? Oh, hey, Lamar. What's up? Nice to have you in an art chat, not a Minecraft chat for once, right? A cupcake then. There you go. Waffles might be cute. True. Waffles would be cute. Waffles from memory. We did already talk about doing sort of like a desert scene though, so I don't want to abandon that idea. But honestly, waffles is cute. Waffles is cute. Also, let me... Trying to smooth it. Just trying to smooth it out, and then I'm just ruining it and getting more gesso all over myself. But at least I can just wipe everything on my pants now that I already ruined them. Might as well just have them stay ruined. I'm drawing vintage style, and it's way too crazy. That's sick. Go you. Vintage cake. Desert scene with waffle oasis. Okay, that's actually kind of iconic. Yep, I'm seriously jealous of people who can just walk around and see. Did I miss something? Did you say something else, Gunter? Too much detail. That's fair. Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in all that detail. Sun and moon is always a fun motif, but what if we are sticking with, but if we're sticking with food, watermelon? Yas, free Palestine, watermelon. um, okay. You know, I'm really liking the desert with a waffle oasis. You know, I feel like that's just beautiful. That's just a beautiful image in my mind. You know what I mean? I'm thinking we're gonna do desert with a waffle oasis. I've never painted anything like that before, but you know, we're having fun here. We're hanging out. We're doing this together. I'm desperately trying to get this to dry faster so that we don't all, you know, pass from boredom. Oh, Gunter was talking about when you mentioned your glasses. Thank you so much, Average, because I didn't pick up on that. Sorry, Gunter. But no, seriously. Seriously. Now, please make a portrait on top of what has been said. Okay, Turf. Oh, I'm going to call you Turfit, actually, because I don't want to call you a Turf. Turfit, okay. How about painting a scenery out of desserts? Oh, so it's like when you accidentally spell desert as dessert. Okay. Wait, we could do, what if we did like a portrait, but it was made out of food? Like, what if we did like, yeah, like a portrait, but it's made out of desserts? I don't know how that would work, but I feel like we can make it work. I feel like we'll be along for that journey together, and I'm down. A portrait with desserts. I'm trying to picture that, but I think that could be fun. It'd be hard to do without like creating it first, if that makes sense. But we can do our best. How do you guys feel about that idea? If you could get this done, it would be awesome. I feel like it would be too. Come on. We want to start painting our portrait made out of desserts. Please. With the maple syrup C, the water in the oasis be maple syrup, or blue Jello. Oh my god, I'm dead. I love that. Okay, guys, we gotta choose between. I feel like we got too much to think about if we're doing a desert with desserts and there's a portrait. That's like I think that might be. I know I'm being a wimp, but that might be a little bit too much for me, right? It's hard to read. So I'm thinking we can either do a desert made out of desserts or a portrait made out of desserts. Which one do y'all want to do? I don't really know how YouTube works, but will I be able to watch this later? It's getting a bit late, my side of the world. Yes, there should be a live recording that will go up for you to watch later, Gunter, and you should be able to also skip. If you just take note of like the time right now, which is 38 minutes, you can just skip to 38 minutes later and watch the rest of it. That's totally fine. How long is this drawing process? Can't wait. So I'm gonna use acrylics probably, so it should be pretty soon now. This is just the gesso that's drying underneath, so that's why it's taking a minute, but it's probably not going to take more than just a couple more minutes for this to be dry. Desert, honestly, if you could name it dessert with the S in the middle as a sort of fusion piece, that'd be so cute. Portrait, and okay, so Turfit wants a portrait, Lamar wants a desert, a desert made out of desserts, a dessert made out of deserts, Nova. Portrait and contemporary from Europe. Yeah, I feel like everyone overseas right now are, closer to. I know I also get a lot of viewers that are from like India, so I feel like that's usually y'all from India are usually the first to go to sleep, which makes complete sense because that's quite the time difference. All right, come on, let's try, please. I beg. We probably should sand it, but I like don't really feel like sanding it. I'm worried I'm gonna have to do another layer if I sand it. I don't know. It's pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth. I don't think we'll need to sand it. I think we'll be fine. But we do have to wait for it to dry, which is annoying as hell. You're from Saudi Arabia? Oh, that's still, I mean, that's still sick and very far away, so I understand that it's, especially for you, Arwa, that's definitely, it's probably pretty late for you. So you are welcome to watch this later if you need to catch some Z's. The moment we heard the food is when we all collectively thought of LOL, what if we did a food pun? I love that. Chocolate ice cream for mountains? Yeah, it's 12 a.m. Yeah, thank you. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, that's so late, guys. Oh my gosh. I mean, hey, I'm not your mom. I'm not gonna tell you that you can't stay and watch, but if you want to catch some Z's, there will be a posted live recording of this later, so don't worry. Also, for those of you who are sticking around, I am going to go ahead and rinse out our little cup of gesso and, oops. And I'm going to rinse out this brush so that they don't dry with a bunch of gesso all over them. I will watch it right now. Love that. Sugar for sand. Yeah, it's late. I don't know. I just randomly came across your live stream. Love how the viewership, you actually read and respond to messages. Love that. I'm from Germany. Oh, love that. Well, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us, Turfit, and I love interacting with you guys. It's like the best part about being live, so I would love for you to come hang out with us again. Thank you for hanging out with us now. You're the best, and I hope you catch a nice little rest, a nice good night's sleep for you. But yeah, for those of y'all who are still hanging out, hang out and chat with each other. I will be back in like 5 minutes. I'm going to keep it up, but I just need to go rinse this in the other room, and it's kind of a pain in the butt for me to bring you with me, so I'll be back. Oh, what a good little dog. What a good little guy. Hey guys, guess what? Schnitzel! Yeah! Yes. Good boy. When are you gonna paint? I am going to paint very soon. Is a doggo nearby? Yes, as you just saw. I don't live in the city, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you're close to me, I'm in Canada. I'm close to you, Raina, I'm in Maine. The cootie patootie is here. Yes, he is. Okay, guys. We're ready. We're ready to lock the freak in. So I'm going to bring you guys a bit closer. We're locking in. Okay, let's get a little brush. Let's get a little brush. Okay, guys. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. So let's just confirm. I need y'all to answer this in chat because I don't really know what we decided on. Are we doing a desert made out of desserts or a portrait made out of desserts? A desert of desserts. Okay, got one vote for that. Please, it's my birthday. All right, happy birthday, by the way. Desert with desserts. Okay, all right. We got Turfa, I'm gonna let your vote count for 2 since it's your birthday. Desert. The dessert, the desert desserts, and then maybe we'll also include a little portrait in there somewhere as like a little surprise. You feel me? Okay, so I think we need like a horizon line first, right? Let's put our horizon line up here. We're just gonna sketch everything out with the magenta, okay? All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, so here's our little horizon line. So sorry about the shadow of my phone on here. It's just because of the window back there. Eventually the light will stop shining through there and we'll be fine. Okay. So someone said, okay, so we got... Okay, so I feel like there's usually... In deserts, there's not really an ocean because that's like kind of the point of a desert is that it's dry. But there are like there's like rivers, right? And I feel like usually the rivers are like under a canyon. So maybe we can have sort of like a little, just like a canyon situation going on. Yeah, and then we have like a little river. So that would probably go like, hey, Schnitzel, we're hanging out in the studio right now. We're not leaving. Okay. And then we can just have that. Magenta over pale yellow looks wow. I know, right? It's a nice little color scheme. I'm curious how you would pronounce my name. I would say Anya. Is that how I'm supposed to say it? Please let me know if not. I can't think of something in particular because I'm originally from Pennsylvania. We say y'all. There's a lot of Amish. Oh, you guys are talking about the, there's a pond, an oasis. Okay. Okay. We're going river. We're going river. Okay. And then also we want to make sure that it gets slowly wider as it gets closer to us. I think I want it to get wider in this direction as well. Oh, you know what, guys? I don't think that some of the gesso underneath this still isn't dry. I forgot to check. Crap. All right, we'll just sketch that out and then give it another minute. I got so distracted with cleaning my brushes, I just figured it would be dry when I came back. Ice cream desert. Maybe like sand mountains in the background with roaring wind blasting upon them. That's a good idea. Hey, it's Llama. Welcome. Welcome to chat, Llama. All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do some all right, come on. Let's dry. Let's be dry, please. I would really appreciate dry. I feel like this is probably good for y'all to see because you're gonna see how crappy my sketches look. This looks like a disaster already. Sandwich Mountains. Oh, that's a good idea too. Cupcake Mountains. Okay, okay. Sandwich Mountains is clever, right? Okay, okay. Oh, that, you know, that would be cute because, right? Like, okay, so if we've got mountains in the background like this, it could be like a slice of a sandwich, right? Like if you slice a sandwich in half. Oh yeah, that's already hidden. Okay. Yes. Right? You guys get the vision? I know it looks like crap right now. But yeah, we got like slice of sandwich mountain in the background. Llama, why do I feel like this? So Llama, just so you know what we're doing, we're making a desert out of desserts. Oh, but it has to be an ice cream sandwich because it's a dessert. Okay, wait. But that can still be an ice cream sandwich. That can still be half of an ice cream sandwich. We just won't have like lettuce coming out of it. So we'll just have these little, because they have these little like, yeah. All right. Looks like a little bit like a domino, but we'll get it. We'll get it later. Okay, and let's have like another one. See the vision, sweet. Looking a little grilled cheese sandwich right now, but that's okay. The cactus should be those ice lollies that are just a cylinder. Oh, that's a good idea. The ice cream sandwich pyramids. Oh my god. Iconic. Waffles and the ice cream sandwiches. Hey, hello. Hey, Nandini. How are you? Sour Belt River. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Ice cream mummies. Okay. Okay. I love the sour. I'm definitely going to go with the Sour Belt for this. That's for freaking sure. I don't know if we can, like, snake that a little bit better. All right, cute. I feel like this would probably get significantly wider actually towards the front because it's a whole friggin' river. Are we gonna do the sun or the moon? Because they should definitely be those jawbreaker candies. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh, we could also do like a croissant crescent moon. But I feel like we have to do the sun anyways, because it's, you know, it's the desert, it's hot and stuff. What's a sour belt? German. A sour belt is, honestly, look it up, because I feel like it's hard to explain. It's an American candy. I'm British, I've never heard of them either, mate. Hey, Holly, welcome to chat. Everyone needs to look up sour belts. I wish I had some so I could show y'all. They're basically just, like very sugary, and they're like these long stringy, they look like a belt, like a fruit roll up, if you've ever heard of one of those. Maybe not, right? They're striped, so they're a few different colors, and they're covered in sour sugar. Is this acrylic or oils? This is acrylic fashion. Also, welcome to chat. Just Googled, I know those. Okay, perfect. Yes, yes. That doesn't help my case though. I'm dead. Okay, so what else do we have? So we have cacti. Oh yeah, someone said popsicles. Okay. I think it'd be fun to have like, you know, even a couple different cacti, right? So we've got like, okay, so we've got a little popsicle. And then maybe a smaller one. Should we have a SpongeBob pop just cuz? A little lollipop as a raft on the river, that'd be so cute. Chupa Chup Sour Belt, yes. What else? What else? We got to figure out what the sun is. I feel like Jawbreaker, yes, but also it'd be hard to tell what it is, if that makes sense. I guess we could if it has like some layers missing, actually. Can we add donuts? Oh, the Haribo snakes. That's a great idea. Can you add donuts? Yeah, we should probably add donuts, shouldn't we? Cotton candy clouds. Oh my god, okay, yes. Okay, so we'll definitely do some cotton candy clouds. That is for sure. And they can even have the little cone that they come in. Honestly, maybe, oh, glazed donuts as like floaties in the river. That'd be funny. Honestly, I'm thinking the sun could be a donut. How do we feel about the sun being a donut? Like up here? We can put sprinkles on it. And we'll put some like, you know, like a yellow glaze on it or something like that. Cute. What else? What else? What else, everybody? A moon cookie? That would be so cute. I love that. Okay, okay. I feel like maybe we should have a little bit of like greenery just by the river. What should we do for grass? What would the grass be? Marshmallows grass? Interesting, interesting. I don't know how that would translate. Why on earth do we need a rainbow? Twizzler grass? That's a good idea too. I'm trying to think, like, or even like shrubs, right? Like what would be a good shrub? Like chewed gum? What are you actually doing? Holly, I'm painting a desert out of desserts. We're just doing our little preliminary sketch right now. Here, let's add a couple more of our little, a cotton candy shrub. Cheers sounds fun. Yeah, we're just having fun. For grass, what about pineapple pencils? Okay, now you got me, Llama, because I don't know what the heck that is. Pineapple pencil? It's a long candy that's usually red. Okay, yeah, so that is kind of like a Twizzlers, like what people were saying before. Pineapple pencil's crazy. Okay. Okay. We have the cotton candy clouds, and I feel like we have to have the clouds be cotton candy, you know what I mean? I would do those as shrubs too, but it's like too much cotton candy. Sugar cans is grass. Oh, Apple Pencil? Oh, also, Apple Pencil is so funny because, like, what do you mean the Apple Pencil you use, like, on an iPad? Or, I mean, we could also do cupcakes. I guess we could do some cupcakes. Oh, wait, maybe we should do cupcakes and then some of them will have candles. And that will kind of be like... I'm going to use this as body doubling so I won't be in chat for a bit. See y'all when I resurface again. Have fun, Lamar. Love that. Sweetie, we're in the studio right now. I'm sorry. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. He's so cute, guys. Need to finish off my work, so I'll return later. We'll see you later, Who. Thank you for hanging out. Angel hair chocolate for the grass? Oh, that's also a great idea. Or yeah, even like frosting, honestly, like, or like little Hershey's Kisses. I mean, I know those would kind of look like turds, to be honest. But like we could do a little, you know, like little frosting dollops or something like that, like. The Twizzlers is a good idea. Maybe we'll just do that. We'll just do Twizzlers. / Apple Pencils. Ooh, candy corn's a good idea. It is almost Halloween. Oh, yeah, big lollipop would be a great idea. Here, we can do a little... We'll do one, like, right here, actually. And obviously we'll make it be, like, one of the swirl ones. Oh my gosh, yes! Oh my gosh, a tumbleweed. Alright, candy corn. Yes, we have cotton candy in the skies right here, fashion. Alright, let's do we'll do a little mini candy corn here. Skittles raining from the clouds would be cute. Sugar skull mummies. What else are there in deserts? I feel like we're missing something. Dunes, yes. I feel like these are kind of the dunes, right? I mean, we can make the like, okay, we can kind of make the ground look dune-ish without needing to turn it into anything necessarily. Like, get a little bit of this going. You feel? Sandworms. Yes, gummy worms. Oh, I love that. The Sphinx has a cake with a cherry as its head. That's cute. Schnitz. Sponge cake would be so great, but you're right. It would also be kind of hard to paint. But I'm down for a challenge. We can maybe try that. Okay, let's. Okay. Just trying to get the sand dune shape in here, right? Sweetie, we're not going downstairs. We're in the studio right now, my love. I know, baby. I will just let him go downstairs, guys, but he will start freaking out if he's not up here with me. Llama is always storming with ideas, guys. This is the Hershey Bridge. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, we could have a little bridge. That might be kind of cute. Basically, we're making Candyland Desert. I like the idea of, like, gummy worms. Baby, I know. Like those like half color ones by Trolley. Reminds me of Wreck-It Ralph movie where everything is candy, literally. Babe, we're staying up here. Do you want a little stick? A little stick that you want? Sit. Good boy. Yes, there you go. There's a stick for you. Yes. All right, he should be appeased for now. All right. We got a lot going on here, but I'm into it. Okay, so I feel like we need maybe just like a little something over here. A little something. I kind of want to paint over this. Yeah, what is everyone's favorite sweet / candy? That is a great question, Holly. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do like a... We'll just do more of these like little popsicles over here, actually. It's probably a good idea. couple of candy corns. Pudding, gummy baby, chocolate and peanut butter fudge. Ooh. You love bounties? I have such a sweet tooth. I think, what is my favorite? I don't know if I could come up with a favorite. Put a little gummy in the bottom here. I don't know what mine would be. Another lollipop tree over here. There's not a lot of trees in the desert, you know? Here we are witnessing the daily migration of the Grulanus vermors, or as they're better known, the gummy worms. They migrate to the Great Candy Stuff River every 6 months. I'm dead. That is so funny. Oh, maybe we could do it. Maybe we should do like a little slice of cake. Like right here. But it's like kind of on its side. That's okay, I guess. All right, and we got like a little bit of frosting here. Maybe like a birthday candle. Hey Akumi, welcome. Candy World Geographic over here, seriously. And we'll have to have more worms throughout as well. The only creature. Dune, but make it Candyland. Okay. I think we've got a solid sketch, guys. We got a lot going on. A lot going on. So I say let's get grooving on the goddess ice is standing on the cake like Rose from Titanic made out of icing. I'm dead. Y'all are crazy. But I love this because this is exactly where we're gonna get like the craziest painting. I kind of wish that, like, anyone else kind of wish that we did it like this. That's okay. We need to have it this way for the video, right? For the vertical footage. Okay, so let's pop over to the palette. Time for some paint mixing. Time for some paint mixing, everybody. Okay. Do a little... I guess we'll actually leave the magenta because we can use that to mix other colors. Just gonna clean it up a little bit so we have more room. As you can see, my palette is really clean. Really clean, very, very profesh. Okay. Hey Sarbajit, how are you? Okay, let's start doing a little mixing. So we want to get out some yellow. I'm great. How are you doing? I'm doing great too. We are working on painting a Candyland desert, aka desert. So we're having lots of fun. But now we need to mix out our palette for it. So actually I'll probably need a little more yellow than that. I always like mix out and squeeze out way too many paints, guys. So sorry in advance. For those of y'all who are like super conservative with paint, which I completely understand because it's expensive. Oh, the sand sherbet, that could be really good too. Right, come on, white. So you can see that tube is on its last legs. And of course, some primary sign. Glad I joined this live. Keep missing them. Hey, I'm glad that you're hanging out with us. Usually I'm just gaming when I'm on live, so this is a new circumstance where we're actually painting. So you made it for the perfect one. Lamar, I'm gonna help you write the National Candy Geographic. Loving that. Loving that. We need a lore book for the candy, the dessert desert. Okay, and then we'll get some burnt umber on there as well. Sweet. Nice yellows, right? Oh, you guys also can't really see this very well. Let me pull you in a little bit closer. Get this rearranged a little bit so we can actually see what we're doing on the palette. And then we just need a camera to focus. Love that. Okay. Let me get this. Let me get this. All right, let's scoop here. The Glycyrrhiza serpens, or the licorice whip, is the snake-like predator of the gummy worm. Since it's young are the licorice whip's favorite prey. Oh my gosh. Now that is freaking horrifying. Y'all crack me up. Llama and Lamar are like... I swear you guys can entertain yourselves in chat. Like, given... Like, if I was just streaming a gray rock, you guys would go off with it. I love it so much. Okay. Let's mix out our little palette. Yes, yes, yes. So we're definitely gonna need a blue sky situation. With our cyan. We're probably actually gonna need a little more paint than that, honestly, so we'll go in with more white. The Adventures of Rocky, the Interdimensional Traveler rocks. See, I knew it. All right, so we got a little sky color here. Rocky. All right. Yes. And then we're gonna need a good sand color. Already using all of our white, whatever. We are gonna have to have some of these colors be like somewhat, you know what I mean? So we are gonna make the sand colored. Because they do need to be kind of accurate, you know? The rocks could be popping candy or honeycombs. That's actually a great point. We have like no rocks. Where are we at? I had a call. No problem, Nova. We are mixing out our palette for the painting. But I don't think I put enough white out, so let me get some more. Let's get a different tube that's not about to be completely empty. One of them can be gray like Rocky. He blends into any dimension he enters. Absolutely. We need white a lot. No, seriously. Where are the rocks going to be? We'll probably just scatter them throughout the composition. We have a lot going on, but I also had like a big brush I was working with. So I feel like once we paint everything in there, it'll be easier to tell where we can fit other objects. So we're gonna make sure that we're spritzing our palette regularly so things don't start drying out prematurely. Let's use a little bit more of this yellow in there. And just a touch of magenta and a touch of burnt umber. Get a good sand color going. Okay, gorge. We're gonna start putting some of these colors off to the side so that we have room in our mixing space. This part's really satisfying. Yes, I love paint mixing. And actually, I'm not gonna clean this area off because it can be kind of unifying if you mix all of your new colors on top of it too. All right, so I think we're also going to need some, let's see. We'll need candy belt colors, which I think are like what? Like pink, blue, and are they just like pink and blue or pink and green and blue or something like that? Can you quickly show me the sketch before I go to sleep? Yes, I can. The sketch! Sorry, it's shaky. The sketch. Okay. Focus, please. Okay. I hope that's kind of focused. Is it at all? No. I don't know. I can't quite see it. It's like on the part of my phone where my phone stand is, so I'm so sorry if it is not focused. Maybe that will help. There we go. Okay, so we'll need... We could make it a chocolate river instead of candy belt. Do you guys want to do that? You'll watch the rest of the live tomorrow? Sounds good. Have a good sleep, Anya. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's do chocolate. We can do a chocolate river if you guys want. I'm down. Obviously, we're mostly gonna need this color, but we'll make it look a little more interesting with a few other undertones in it. Hello, so my first time watching one of your lives. I love the music playing in the background. Thank you so much. I want to make sure I pronounce your username right. Is it Reci? Let me know. Or I can call you something else if you'd like. But thank you. Welcome to the live. It's so nice to have you. I love when new people pop in. Are we treating the river as if it was the Nile River equivalent? Because if yes, we could put some more trees around the river. There's quite a lot of vegetation in the Nile. That is so fair. So I don't know. I want it to be as desert as possible. So I'm thinking not too much vegetation, but we could definitely add a little bit more, kind of have a good little balance going on. Guys, can we see 30 likes? Okay, okay. Sarpajit out here trying to keep the hype train going. So sweet. I appreciate you. All right, that's a good chocolate river color. I mean, that's a good chocolate river color. Let's put that off to the side. All right, let's do a better job scraping this. It's Reese, like Reese's Pieces. Okay, cool. Reese, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. Next painting should be a Baroque breakfast. Oh, I'm so down. Yeah, I think next time I hop in the live, I'll probably have like a better prop setup. Maybe we could design a still life with some fun objects and then paint the still life together. That would be kind of fun. Okay, do a little spritz. All right, so we got chocolate river, we got the skies, we got the sand. We need, the colors for the gummy worms. So we should do like a blue and pink one, obviously, and then orange and then what's the other one? Red and yellow. Okay, so. And then we can probably use these for some of the other candy too. So I don't think we have to mix out separate piles for all the different candies. I think we could probably work with what we've got at that point. Oh no! I just noticed that fell in there. Hi, Schnitzel. Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Yeah. Are you my good boy? Yeah. Good boy, my sleepy man. All right. Let's do this. I feel like the pink is actually a little bit darker on the gummy worms, if I'm not mistaken. My dog Paxton is sleeping on my bed. He looks so cute. Aww. Love that. Hi, Paxton. Candy floss clouds or something else? I can't quite remember. Yes, it is candy floss clouds. Or as us Americans like to call it, cotton candy. Okay, I feel like this is a good pink to work with for everything. So do that. And then we need orange next, so we'll take more of our magenta. We're definitely gonna need more of that, actually. Let's get more. Get more of that on the palette. Yes, you're such a good boy. Probably need a good amount of that orange. Hi, baby. Yeah. He's just sitting right next to me on the ground. Hi, my love. You're a good boy. I love you. Yeah, you're such a good boy. Yeah. Or edible lint, depends on how you see it. Right. Love me some edible lint. Okay, and then we're gonna use this yellow. I think that'll be good. Ooh, that's already started setting. We should spray that again. All right, let's turn that into some orange. You need a pet. Llama, you just gotta go into Minecraft. You can get some pets in Minecraft. All right, this is a little intense. Leading a little bit more red than what I would like, so I think I'm gonna mix in actually a little bit of white. Not too much, and then a little bit more of this yellow. Or Animal Crossing, true. The next candy theme painting should be a snowy climate like Antarctica. Oh my god, that'd be so cute. I love that idea. Antarctica has nothing? Well, it could have like snowy polar bears or something. Marshmallow polar bears. Snow cone igloos. Licorice penguins. Oh, right. The polar bears are in the Arctic. Hey, look. I'm an artist, not a geographer. All right, that's a good orange for us. Add a smidge of light brown to it. Well, I mean, I guess we already put it aside, but I'll put a smidge of light brown in the red. Okay, so we're gonna need mostly magenta for the red here. This is gonna be for like our Twizzlers and stuff like that. So it's mostly gonna be magenta, and then we're just gonna need some of this transparent yellow. And the brown should also help us get a nice red. It'll be a little darker because of the brown, but nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, maybe we'll also do... yeah, a little warmer with that red should be good. Hey Pri, welcome to chat. How are you? Hey, it's pretty late where you are, Pri, right? Alright, that's a good red. Okay. We're getting there with our palette, guys. We're getting there. What else do we need? What else do we need? Hi, baby boy. Oh, you know, we probably should use like... oh, we'll need green for the gummy worms. I'm all good. Really happy to catch a painting stream. Yes, I mean, this is the first painting stream that we have done in a very, very, very long time. So you're kind of catching the first painting stream. And I'm also very glad that you're here. All right. Yeah, it's around 1 a.m. Well, you're a trooper. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. Pink for the cotton candy or the cake. True. We do have this pink right here, and I can just easily mix a little bit of some other colors into it to alter it, you know what I mean? I try not to mix out, like, you know what I mean, like too many similar colors if they're easy enough to adjust. All right, this is looking a little bit too muddy for me, so we're gonna mix in a little bit, probably because we mixed it on top of red, but I think all we need to fix that is a little bit of yellow. What are we painting? We are, yes, Dessert Desert. So chat helped us set up a little sketch for the landscape, and it's gonna be the desert made out of desserts. All right, this is a fun little green. I like that. But is that gonna work for, yeah, that'll actually be fine for the gummy worm. Actually, no, we want more yellow in it. JK. Oops, I forgot to wipe off my palette knife there. A little more yellow in that green should be good. There we go. That's more what I was hoping to see. What do you do when the paint ends mid-painting? Well, remix a bunch of colors, but that's why I'm trying to mix it out in advance and then keep it hydrated. Okay, let's do a little spritz. Let's do a spritz. All right, I'd say we got a pretty solid palette to work from for now. We can always mix more. Let's pull back over. Let's actually pull this over too so you guys can see a little better. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, we got a gift. I didn't even see that. Thank you. Who sent that? Who sent that? Nova. Oh, thank you for the floating heart, Nova. Daphne, how do you know which colors to mix to get to the desired colors? Honestly, a lot of practice. Working with the same colors over and over on your palette can be very helpful for that, because it kind of, you get to know them like they're people. You get to know what they do, how they interact with each other, whether or not they like each other. You know what I mean? You're the best, Nova. Things would be easier if we had paint magic, honestly. It'd be so much better. All right, let's get going. So we're gonna start in our sky. We're gonna get the darkest part of the sky up top. So we're just gonna start with that pure blue that we mixed. Right up here. Love it. Don't want to paint over our donut sun. Some say I'm a star. You are a star. Nova, I think you're the first gift I've ever gotten on live here, actually. Hearts in the chat for Nova. You're the OG. How did I get 50 gems? I clicked the gift thing. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if it's giving you guys like free ones or something like that because you're in the live a lot or something. Our donut sun. Yes, S-O-N. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is mix a little bit of white in as we go to slowly lighten up that sky. This is the first time I gave a gift. I didn't know it was a thing. Well, hey, I am honored. Thank you. I just came back and it looks like we're painting Candyland. No, literally, dude. It's so funny. We basically are. Dessert desert. So we have a donut sun, ice cream cloud, sandwich hills, lollipop trees, and gummy worms. So close. Yes, pretty much. So the clouds are cotton candy or candy floss or fairy floss, whatever y'all call it. And the sandwich hills are ice cream sandwiches specifically. But yes. Yes. All right, we're just gonna softly blend that in because some of that has dried already. I wish I could have a camera on my palette at the same time. That's the end goal. Is to be able to live stream the canvas and the palette at the same time. How do you send a gift? I have no idea. I don't know if I've done that before. But also it costs money, so it's like, don't worry about it. If you haven't done it before and you don't have like, and it doesn't already give you like free gems to do it, please don't worry about it. You can if you want, but I don't want anyone to ever feel like they have to be sending me gifts because it's chill. If you watch the ads during the ad break, that pays me and that's free for you to do, so. All right. We're bringing that blue down. Again, it's a little bit lighter, so we've mixed in a little bit more white as we get closer to the horizon. Are you using acrylic paint for this? I am using acrylic paint for this. Actually, it is acrylic paint, not oil paint. Did someone send another gift and I missed it? Yes, Nova. Thank you. Oh, I didn't know acrylics mixed to a smoothie. My bad. No, you're totally fine. No worries, Pri. I have some expensive acrylics. So I have the golden acrylics. So they're pretty fancy schmancy, and they have a 10. And also I use Liquitex as well, but I use their heavy body, so they have kind of the texture of oil. So I don't blame you for getting it mixed up. All right, mixed in a little more white there. Also, I don't know if you guys heard off camera, but I just spritzed the palette again. I usually have to spritz it every 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that, and I'm actually gonna kind of paint over this lollipop here a little bit, just so we do have that sky, like kind of filling in. And we can just paint over it again, you know? But that way we get like a nice little sky gradient going on. Daph, when did you begin your art journey? So I started drawing mostly like anime and stuff when I was like 11. I mean, I feel like most kids, like all kids make art. So like technically, I guess I've been making art like my whole life, right? But I started like doing it more in my free time and stuff like that when I was in my like tween years. And then I got really into drawing anime and stuff like that. And then I started taking after school art classes where she had us using watercolors and learning how to draw from life realistically. And I just really fell in love with that and kind of went from there. I have not drawn anime since my teenage years. Do you have to have a base on the canvas before you start painting? Yes, you want to be able to prime it. We actually, that's what we did. This yellow color in the background there is tinted gesso as our primer. Anime is always a starting point for some reason. Yes. Well, it's also just accessible. It's easy. I mean, it's not easy to learn how to draw anime, right? Like it's still a challenge. It's still something to learn. You still have to be, you know, very talented. At the same time, though, it's definitely easier than drawing realistic portraits. So I feel like it's a really good place to start, you know? What brand of paint do I like? I really like Golden for acrylics. And, all right, I'm making the base of our donut this yellow color for now, just to kind of get a first pass on that. I like Golden acrylics, but they're more expensive. So I would recommend, if you're looking for like a recommendation, especially if you don't have like a huge budget, I would highly recommend getting Liquitex acrylics instead, if you have the budget for it, or if you have a smaller budget, just because those also are great quality for the price range, you know what I mean? Golden is definitely better quality, but it's just more pricey, so. Trying to start to get back into art to learn basic again, which is how I came across your channel. Well, I'm so glad to have you here, Nova. Going over the basics again is so helpful. I have so many ideas for like videos I want to make that are like beginner's guides and stuff. It's just really, really time consuming to make YouTube videos. Turns out. And I struggle with more long-term projects. It's hard for me to stay focused. It's so much easier for me to make shorts and stuff, you know? All right, I've got to have the center of our donut sun. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of this. And then give it a little shape. Up in the sky there. Think of getting one of those art tablets? You totally should. I watched your winter. Here's Golden being mentioned. I'm done hiding. Now I'm shining like I'm born. Yes. Oh my god. K-pop Demon Hunters is so fire. I watched your winter painting tutorial. It really helped me at painting better. I'm so glad, Raina. That one, I don't know why that one was like the one that went crazy viral, but that was like the painting that got me to where I'm here, to where I am now. Oh my god, everyone's saying golden. It's so cute. Okay, so let's pop in. I'm gonna mix some white into that pink color that we had already gotten all mixed out. Lighten that up a bit for our cotton candy clouds. Also added a touch of blue so that it kind of fits more with the sky there. Let's go even lighter. What are your core paint palette colors? I like to paint using cyan, magenta, and yellow as like my primaries. And then I usually also add burnt umber and of course white onto the palette. And then if I just know, like for example, I knew I was gonna be needing a lot of yellow for this painting, I added 2 different kinds of yellows so that I'd have a little more variety there. Or if I know I'm gonna be needing to mix up a lot of green, I'll squeeze out some tubed green just so it's easier for me to get to those colors, you know? All right, so we're gonna wanna kind of softly blend these edges out of these cotton candy clouds so that they look fluffy. If you have too hard of edges on something that's supposed to be soft and fluffy, it's not gonna read as what you want it to. So this is a great way to get that appearance. My God, we're getting all of golden in chat, all of the golden in chat. I don't know the song well enough to be able to sing it, otherwise I would for y'all. Not that you guys would ever want to hear that, but you know. Cotton candy. Live fails because we sing it out. Daphne, how do you stop your acrylics from drying out when painting? I find that when I paint, they dry before I can blend them. So honestly, it happens to me as well. The way I'm able to blend these right now is because I'm actually using a dry brushing technique, which is when you take your brush that has just a little bit of paint on it and you just gently drag it, and it's gonna apply like a very thin, scratchy layer of paint, and that's how I'm kind of getting these outer edges to be softer. You just have to work with what the paint's doing. As far as keeping it wet on my palette, I just spray it with water, like every 5-10 minutes. It's crazy how long K-pop Demon Hunters was in the #1 spot for Netflix for so long. Yeah, tell me about it. Like, but also like, I totally understand why it was, because it's like the coolest, most original thing they put out in so long. Is it really cold in Maine? Yes. No, actually, what am I saying? It's cold in Maine for like 7 months out of the year. It hasn't really gotten super cold yet. So that's kind of nice, but I'm kind of ready for it to get cold, to be honest. I'd be fine with some cool air. All right, let's go ahead and... So we're just doing a base color on everything. We are not going full detail. We're just getting a base color on everything. Then we can go back in and add detail later. That, I feel like, is too... Demon Hunters, yes, it is. Well, K-pop Demon Hunters. I think there's like another anime called Demon Hunters. Am I self-taught? I'm both self-taught and I've gone and taken classes and stuff like that. I don't have a degree in art. I did go to 1 year of college, and I also did 1 year at an atelier program in Italy, and then I did some workshops and classes at an atelier program in Boston. Is it a series or a movie? It's a movie. It's on Netflix. I want to watch it so bad, I just don't have the time. That's so fair. Honestly, even if you just watch little bits here and there, it's so good. And it's easy to follow, too. It's like, technically, I think it's like a kid's movie, but it's one of those kids' movies that is really all ages. It's so good. How did you enjoy the program in Italy? Would you recommend traveling to take a class? If you can afford to travel to take a class, I definitely would recommend it. I was able to afford it just because I was fortunate to grow up with parents who could afford to save up like a college fund for me. Not really like a trust, but they just had like, you know, they're ready to help me pay for my college, and I decided that I wanted to go do that program instead of go to college in America. And it actually ended up being significantly less expensive to go study all the way in Italy than it would have been to study in the United States, because school's so insanely overpriced here. So that's how I was able to go. And I would absolutely recommend it. I went to the Florence Academy of Art, if you're curious at like the specific program I did. It was amazing. I was just honestly too young. I was really struggling being on my own overseas, and that's why I didn't stay and finish it. They're gonna make a series that's a prequel. That's really cool. That'll be really interesting because there's so much lore with like her mom and everything, and like how she came to be, and honestly the whole freaking like universe that they've created. So I would love to watch a good prequel. Give us some context. You're catching up on the Daphne lore. Good. I love that. I have a if you're curious at all about like educational stuff or anything, or like my background or anything, I do have a 200K Q&A video that's up where I do talk about that a bit. I might not have talked too much about the schooling just because it was sort of like I basically tried a lot of schooling and dropped out of all of them because I have depression. And I also was like, I didn't realize I had ADHD at the time. So I was like, why am I so bad at school? Why is this so hard for me? Well, turns out I just probably needed to be like on medication, but you know. Which flavor ice cream sandwich are they gonna be? I think I'm gonna make them both vanilla. Ooh, they're gonna do a live action? What? I'm fine with them doing a live action as long as it's good. Oh no, my brush. It is failing me. Hopefully they don't dumb it down like most sequels. Exactly, I agree. How they incorporate that into live action? Well, I mean, they'll just use like CGI. Why always live action? That's fair. I just think they want to make money on it. They're like, hey, this made a lot of money. Let's just do it again. Also, I think it's significantly less expensive to do something live action than it is to do an animation. We're just actually going to bring this all the way down and pretend that lollipop wasn't there temporarily. And let's go back in with this white color that we made. It's technically a light blue, but if you think about it, it's reflecting the sky there, so it's gonna be reflecting some of that blue. And then I'll fix this part. I feel like they can incorporate stuff just fine, but like everyone praised K-pop Demon Hunters for being original, and then companies decide to go into money-making farm as always. That is completely fair. That is completely fair. I mean, I hope that they just spend their time and money on making something else original, but that's such like a financial risk that most production companies would rather go for something that they know works already, which is stupid, but it's just how it works. It's like when studios stopped hand-drawn animation for 3D animation. It's cheaper for the companies and easier to make. This is true. The sun looks like a pineapple slice. It does look like a pineapple ring. Oh my god, I love that. Okay, let's go in with our little chocolate river. Which I guess can kind of start here. I kind of want to make it like wider than it is for perspective reasons. It does make more money. You don't make more money reinventing the wheel. So I am gonna hop off for just a minute, guys. I'm so sorry. But I just need to go ahead and call this person back. I will be back in just a little bit. If you want to make sure that you're notified when I do come back, you can just go ahead and press the little bell if you'd like. And for those of you who don't return, I love y'all, and I will see you another time. But I'll be back in just a minute, okay? Now, I gotta figure out how to, let's see if I even can.